Yeah, doing the Tupac AI thing.
Right.
You know, you talk about feeling disrespect. I mean, the whole coast, we love Tupac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The world love Tupac. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that you feel like you could just use Tupac voice and have him saying whatever,
shit on him like that,
and don't give us some kind of you know, a little, hey, this is just a rap song, da da da. You got to do like when BMF come on, like, saying you got to give us a little. This is, you know what I mean?
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, right? To not do that and just think you just gonna keep jumping on the internet and do things with people's voices, and to me that's it's ignorant.
Right. I heard you like him young.
Get out the way, man. Get out the way. Get out the way.
Get me out the way, homie. You a lame too. Hey Drake, you on the phone with an A minor. You dude.
So Xzibit is finally weighing in on the Drake versus Kendrick Lamar beef. And while he might be a little late to the party, he's not holding back. And he's going straight for Drake's neck, calling him out for disrespecting the West Coast and Tupac's legacy. Xzibit also broke down how Drake seriously underestimated Kendrick as an opponent in this whole back and forth. And while X said he initially wasn't trying to pick sides in this beef, he changed his mind after Drake started running his mouth about Tupac.
Kendrick Lamar is a very special individual.
Right.
I think he is a deep thinker. I think he is a big part of what is unifying and energizing the West Coast right now. And I think he was severely underestimated.
So Xzibit just hit up Drink Champs to talk about why Drake took a major L in his beef with Kendrick. And X told Nore that Drizzy seriously slept on Kendrick. According to X, Kendrick's on a whole different level, and Drake just didn't respect that.
What we're seeing now is the repercussions of stepping on somebody that you shouldn't have stepped to.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not even in the same class. You know, in my opinion, Drake should have just put out a massive hit for the women and went on about his business. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you saying like after?
After the first shot, you know what I'm saying? But pride is a mother, ego is a mother.
Kept going.
Now, Xzibit made it clear that he wasn't trying to pick sides at first. That is, until Drake started disrespecting Tupac's legacy in this whole beef. That's when X had to step up and say something, because that's a line you just don't cross, especially when it comes to the West Coast legends.
Doing the Tupac AI thing,
right?
You know, you talk about feeling disrespect. I mean, the whole coast, we love Tupac.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The world love Tupac. You know what I'm saying? No dog in this fight.
Yeah, no, I know.
But none
of us do.
Yeah, but the West Coast is where I'm at, and that's what's up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so Kendrick is definitely ruling the pack.
And it looks like most fans are backing Xzibit on this one, with many saying Drake really showed his true colors by disrespecting Tupac's legacy. I mean, we all know the West Coast is rooted in hip-hop history, and Pac was one of the artists who put the West Coast on the map and gave a voice to the voiceless. So disrespecting Pac was a slap in the face to the whole culture. That's why, ever since Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, California has been straight up dancing on Drake's downfall, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. That track brought all the Drake haters together like never before in hip-hop, and the gloating is real. But it's not just about Drake taking an L. It's about California and the whole West Coast reclaiming what's theirs. For one, LA took down the biggest rap star in the game with one of the most legendary rap battles in recent memory. But more than that, Drake's been saying a lot of things lately that have rubbed the West Coast the wrong way, especially when it comes to dissing Tupac and the legends. Now, Kendrick and Drake's beef has been brewing for over a decade, but the West Coast beef with Drizzy is something new. Remember when Drake came out swinging on his diss track push-ups, claiming he's more loved in LA than Kendrick? Well, Kendrick didn't really respond directly to that line in his tracks, but you could tell it hit a nerve. Instead of clapping back with words, Kendrick let his actions speak louder. He threw down one of the most iconic rap performances in recent memory, proving once and for all that the West Coast is Team Kendrick through and through.
I ain't gonna lie to you, watching that concert, it was like the first time like I seen rap like transition, like it kind of like say like this, he's the new king. Like they didn't say that. They didn't say that. Like having Drake come out and say, "I see dead people." Yeah. I see dead people. Yeah. You have the biggest of the biggest West Coast guy come out, and he's not dissing, Drake, but him just co-signing that, and then that record just you just wanna do a gang dance.
Yeah, that shit been stuck in my head all the whole time.
So you woke up. They not like us.
I woke up with that shit stuck in my head. They not like us. They not like us.
They not.
And based on the turnout of Kendrick's concert, the stacked lineup of artists who rocked the stage, and the legendary figures who showed up to support Kendrick, it's pretty obvious that Kendrick does not get more love in Kendrick's city. So here's the deal. Drake messed up by confusing LA with Hollywood, thinking that just because he's a bigger star in certain circles than Kendrick, the whole West Coast would automatically side with him. But we all know LA and Hollywood are not the same thing, and that mix-up, yeah, it cost Drake big time. Van Lathan broke this down on his podcast and said that Drake basically confused West Hollywood for Inglewood.
Confuse Delilah for Watts.
Which he shouts out.
He confused Poppy for Compton. He confused West Hollywood for Inglewood.
Mm-hmm.
The people that I seen, the people that I observed bopping to Not Like Us, they was two-stepping to that bitch.
Yeah, they were.
They were crip walking to that bitch.
They were.
That was some LA shit. The record is produced by DJ Mustard, a former Drake collaborator. When it was time for people to coalesce in Los Angeles, not in Hollywood, not in Calabasas, not in West Hollywood, not in Santa Monica, not in the places you might go, not in Beverly Hills, not in the places that people from outside of Los Angeles think are Los Angeles, right?
Right.
When it was time for people to coalesce around the record, the people I seen dancing to it was Shamika and them, Big Ron, Lil CC. You know what I'm saying? People like that. People like the people from Low Bottoms. You know, people that are going with Dot that are from LA. People get their LAs confused all the time.
Drake seriously underestimated Kendrick and the love he's got in his own city. And now it's looking like Drake's Hollywood fantasy just got a rude awakening from the real LA. When you're out here misjudging what your rival city really represents, you've already made a huge mistake. And Drake pissed off a lot of people in the process, Xzibit being one of them.
Like Drake was, damn near #1 for a decade, if not more. You know what I'm saying? More. And he felt untouchable. So it's very dope to see, Kendrick come into his own. And I'm pretty sure he was pushed in a lot of ways from that situation. But to see what he turned into and to see what he represents and what he means to us on the coast, it's fantastic. It's dope. When he did that pop-out concert and Dre went out there and all them neighborhoods came out there.
See, we didn't know that.
Stayed on stage.
Let me, because we want you to explain this in its entirety, in depth.
Yeah.
Us on the East Coast, we looking thinking these are artists. That, although they might be artists, but we're not understanding that they represent different gangs.
Oh no,
different territories.
There were some artists up there. There were some artists, but there was some very important people to the street up there too. That usually don't really be standing next to each other.
Right.
And I think it just really set the tone for what's coming next.
Right.
So everybody saw that and was like, oh, we ain't had this before in the West.
That's what I'm trying to say.
We ain't had this before.
Maybe slightly during the peace treaty.
No, it'd be pieces. It'd be pieces of the West coming together. Still excluding some of these parts because of past things that happened or just like that's just how things have been. But when that happened, a lot of got pushed to the side and was like, okay, you know what? Let's unite around this W. Let's unite around this genius that is this doing this phenomenal work.
All right.
And look, we can beef internally, but to the rest of the world, unified. Like, we haven't had that. You know what I'm saying?
But for some reason, Drake just kept digging himself into a deeper hole, even after people warned him to stop using Tupac's name. There was that whole AI mess where Drake used Tupac and Snoop's voices to take shots at Kendrick on the tailor-made freestyle. He had Pac and Snoop sounding like they were straight up disappointed in Kendrick. And the wildest part is that Pac's own family had to step in and check Drake for disrespecting Pac's legacy. Tupac's estate wasn't having it, and they even threatened legal action against Drake, forcing him to pull tailor tailor-made freestyle from his social media. Howard E. King, the lawyer for Tupac's estate, called the track a flagrant violation of Tupac's publicity rights, adding that the estate would never have given its approval for this use. King said in a statement, "The unauthorized, equally dismaying use of Tupac's voice against Kendrick Lamar, a good friend to the estate who has given nothing but respect to Tupac and his legacy, publicly and privately, compounds the insult." And then Tupac's brother, Mopreme Shakur, also came for Drake, saying it was a cowardly move on Drake's part to use Pac's voice instead of dissing Kendrick directly.
The question was about AI, and just because you can do something, that doesn't mean you should do something. Me personally, I'm from the old school, Queens, New York, Mecca. That's why I got my bones. You know what I mean? So the way we battle rap, because, from what I understand, it's a battle. If it's a battle, it should be mano y mano. At my humble opinion, it should be mano y mano, skill against skill, flow against flow. When you put AI into the game, you make sure balance.
Now fast forward to that pop-up show in Inglewood, and Kendrick didn't hold back, calling out Drake's stunt right there and telling the crowd they shouldn't let anyone mock or imitate their legends.
Oh, so y'all ain't gonna let nobody disrespect the West Coast, huh? Oh, y'all ain't gonna let nobody mock and imitate our legends, huh?
Fast forward to now, and the West Coast is still riding high off this win. And they're letting Drake know if he ever thinks about stepping back into their territory, he better watch his step. And look, it's safe to say that Drake's probably not planning any trips to California anytime soon. The way things are looking, he might want to keep his distance from the West Coast for a while. In fact, Drake just jetted off to Australia to focus on his tour, and the timing is convenient because not only is he dodging the media frenzy around Kendrick's Super Bowl performance, but there's also a whole bunch of speculation that Drake might have had something to do with trying to block Kendrick from performing Not Like Us during the halftime show.
So Drake did all this so Not Like Us doesn't play at the Super Bowl. He knows nothing. The timing of this just says he just doesn't want the song played at the Super Bowl. And because in a lawsuit, the NFL is going to tell Kendrick, hey, you can't play this song.
So allegedly, Drake did everything in his power to keep Kendrick from performing that track. And that lawsuit Drake has filed against UMG is rumored to be directly linked to his attempt to stop Kendrick from getting the spotlight at the Super Bowl. Now, why would Drake care so much about this one song in his Super Bowl performance? Well, Not Like Us is not just a track, it's a statement. It's a reminder of where Kendrick stands in hip-hop, especially when it comes to the West Coast. But beyond that, Not Like Us got people all over the world to dig into Drake's problematic history with young women and pull all the receipts. And while Drake claimed in his lawsuit that the song was defamatory because it wrongly accused him of being a PDF file, filing that lawsuit was probably the worst move Drake could have made. Because now all those old receipts of him being way too close with young women are getting dug up again, and everyone's talking about it. And that's not exactly the type of attention you want when you're already under fire.
I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breasts feel against my chest and stuff. I just want to thank you.
And he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. We just texted each other the other day, and he was like, I miss you so much. I was like, I miss you more. He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited, yeah.
You and Drake, that's awesome. That's awesome.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah, he's great. He's wonderful, I love him.
What's his advice with boys?
That stays in the text messages.
So where does that leave Drake now? Well, it's hard to predict what his next move will be. At this point, most people are saying that Drake should just lay low for a while, take a step back, and focus on what he does best, making pop music. He should probably let this blow over and come back with an album like Take Care, something introspective and soulful where he's in his comfort zone. That's the lane Drake thrives in, because clearly all this tough guy talk and rap beef stuff isn't really his scene. But what's your take on all this? Do you agree with Xzibit that Drake underestimated Kendrick and crossed the line by disrespecting Tupac's legacy? And what do you think Drake's next move should be if he wants to bounce back from all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't miss out on this next video.